Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm back with another recap of Tyler Perry's Zatima Season 2, Episode 13, Never Too Late. So, it continues off with Fatima meeting Zach, his mom, and brother at Dr. Reed's office. So, basically she's sitting down and she's listening to how basically Zach is standing up to his brother and his mom. He basically told them, like, listen, basically tired of trying to love you both. Like, you basically treated me like crap. He confronted his brother about taking a rap for him about those charges, and his brother was like, you owe me. So basically the only reason why they agreed to go with him to the therapy session is because he agreed to pay them. So at first they wasn't trying to talk, and he was just like, nah, I'm gonna just give you the money. And they was like, no, you can't do that. So he told his mother what it was. He confronted her, told her that, like, he'd been treated like crap his whole entire life, and she was the root of the cause and all of his pain. And Fatima, she was just sitting there looking, and she was just crying, and she's just like, wow, this is crazy. All she can do is cry and shake her head. She really didn't have much to say. And then the mother was trying to say, like, oh, she's the reason why I can't stand her and stuff like that. And this is like, what? So Zach broke down. He finally got off his chest what he had to say to his mom and his brother. Eventually, they was worried about the money. They took the money and left. So then now he confronts Fatima and tells her that he loves her, and he's trying to be a better person, and like he just basically said, like, I'm done. I can't keep going with the back and forth. I almost lost you because of this and all this other stuff. And eventually Fatima was like, I love you and all, but I gotta go. So she ends up leaving, and he's left there with Dr. Reed, and they continue to still talk. And Dr. Reed gave him an analogy to, like, circuit breakers break. When you plug too much stuff in, it eventually trips. So basically at this point, he's trying to help Zach figure out a way to, like, get back on track, like, because it's never too late to like, fix something that you think is broken, when in all actuality it just needs a little bit of work. So he tells him that you just need to work on it, and it takes time. Like he commended him for, like, standing up to his family. He was like, you did something that would have took other people months to do. So, and he was just like, why the urgency? And like he said, he just wanted to not lose Fatima. But at the same point, Fatima was like, you done hurt me so many times. What you did in the elevator, that didn't make sense. And he was like, yeah, I know, and all this other stuff. It was just like, she really at her breaking point, but at the same time, she loved this man, but she don't know if she really want to, like, give up, throw in the towel. So I guess in her mind, she's done. But in no actuality, I guess she's liking the fact that, he is trying to make a change, but she's not gonna tell him that to her face. Tell him that to his face, because you can see it. Like, she done, but at the same time, she want him to fight for her. That's what I'm getting the vibe from. So after they leave from the meeting, by this time, Fatima's at her job in her car, and you could tell she's been crying because Paul just happened to show up at the parking lot. He offers her a tissue. He was like, you've been crying. She was like, yeah, but I don't want to talk about it. Not right now. So she still decides she wants to go out with him to eat. They're going to still just go for 7 o'clock. By this time, Angela is at her house, and she gives Bryce a box of things that he had left over there, which is a little small box. Like, whew. So he wants them to still be friends, and at this point Angel was like, nah, I'm good on that. But he was like, we can try. And she was like, nah, I'm good. She asked how Zach was, and he was like, he's alright, but we don't really talk and whatnot. So eventually, by this time, Fatima done made it to Angela's house. So she comes in, say hi to Bryce, and Bryce say hi to her. And that was that. And Angela was like, you can go. So they leave. And so then Fatima, she sits down at the bar, at the bar stool. And Angela sits down too. And they start talking. And then she was like, I got to go get ready because I'm about to go with Paul. And then I think Fatima was like, we went to this meeting with Dr. Reed and stuff like that. And his parents and stuff. His mom and brother was there. So like, yeah. So she said, I'm about to go upstairs to go get changed. And she also wanted to find out if Belinda was working tonight. So after she done got changed and came back downstairs, she sat down. She was like, oh, you look nice. Fatima asked, does Belinda work? And she was like, yeah, she works tonight. And she was like, oh. But she like, Angela was like, you love open mic. And, you cannot let her run you out of this place. It's like Angela's on the fence with everybody. She's playing both sides of the field. But I think at the same time, she just wants everybody to come to one common ground and be on one page. So I kind of see where she's coming from with the back and forth. So eventually, she gets ready. And then she was like, I can go upstairs and change too, to distract her or whatnot. So I guess that was a good idea for the mind. So they hear a knock at the door. She assumed that it was Paul, but Angela went up to go get the door. And when they opened, it was Zach. So Fatima tried to hurry up and run and hide to the side of the counter. And then Zach was like, can I come in? And he was like, Fatima, I saw you. And then eventually Fatima was like, oh, let him in. So Zach goes in to talk to Fatima. And he was like, you look nice. Can we talk? And she was like, listen, I'm done. And, he apologized to her about the whole Superman County situation and stuff like that. And she was like, listen, I'm done. And then, because Angela went outside to talk, check the mail. So she came back in. She was like, your ride share is here. So Zach was still trying to talk to her and whatnot. She was like, no, I'm good. So she didn't believe it. So now it's Angela offered him some wine. He eventually does sit down, even though she told him to leave. And then them two have a good conversation. She was talking to him about, like, when Fatima's done, she's done. Like, but at the same time, Zach was like, listen, I'm trying. I really didn't see with that girl and stuff like that. But it's like, you hurt her too many times. And it's like, he's like, I know I'm getting, but I'm trying. Angela basically told him, like, listen, she basically said, I like you. You're smart. You're good for her. You make a great couple. But at the same time, you've hurt her so many times. And it's just like, when she's done, she's done. So, they had a good conversation. And I could see Angela rooting for him. So that was good. Also, before, I always do this. Before Zach got to Angela's place, he pulled up to his house and he ended up seeing Nate and Deja out there. So basically Nate was trying to help Deja into her house, but at the same time Deja's still trying to sue Fatima about getting her back hurt, and Zach wasn't have time for that, so he went inside his house. So now Nate is talking to Deja, and he basically told Deja, like, you need to rethink this lawsuit because they got cameras and stuff. They know that you're a stripper. At one end, they could see you going down the pole. And, we did go into their house unannounced. That's trespassing and all that other stuff. She was like, oh, dang. So she ended up going to her house, and he thought he was going to go in too. But she thought what he said, too. He was like, you're broke. You lame home with Tony. And no, that's not a good look. So, bye. So Nate goes over to Zach's place to talk to him. And he was like, listen, I tried to get Deja to rethink the lawsuit or whatever. He was like, yeah, whatever. Oh, sorry. So he was like, you're the whole reason behind me in this Fatima's situation. He was like, yeah, but I'm trying. He was like, listen, I gotta go. You gotta go. So he basically didn't want to hear anything that Nate had to say, but Nate was like, listen, I love you, you know, I guess I'll give you your time and space, and that was done. So, yeah. So, this was this episode, and at the end of Angela and Zach's talk, Zach was like, she's mine. She's mine. He's basically going to try everything in his power to get back the woman he loves. So after that, he leaves, and that was this episode. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.